Hello.
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 Hi.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
I gotta make sure. We got a whole new stream setup we're doing here, so I gotta make sure
I'm in chat.
sound good.
Oh my god. Oh my god. No. That's not right. I opened up the code.
What? I misspelled chat.
How?
Chat. I put a
Put an
I put
E
a
at the end.
V in there.
That.
Oh my god, this is terrible.
Yeah,
I don't have dark theme turned on.
Yeah, so we're only in
Ouch.
the left channel.
Much better.
that's hurtful.
I don't like the white theme. Wait. Hi Wes.
Do you remember how to do this, Doug?
Do what?
We're only in the left channel.
Oh.
Yes.
Is that why I'm only hearing myself out my right ear?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Is it this?
I have my headphones on
Ah.
backwards.
Oh, that would make sense.
Because like the wire's on this side
There's
and
that.
the plug's over here, so I don't want to like going across me and having less headroom. So I can be animated.
There we go.
Hello, people of the internet.
Let's just mount.
We are Flightless Nerd.
Hello.
We are a foursome to be reckoned with. Wait, no,
The
that's
fierce,
not
the fearsome foursome.
What are you doing?
right. We are fan
Here to-
four stick.
Here to
No,
deliver the news about.
We coulda went and
the
played
video
golf.
games.
we could have played golf, but instead we're going to talk about video games.
So Austin's a little loud.
This hat
No,
is
I'm
very
not.
hot.
Keep me up. Keep me up. You always turn me down, and then I can't hear myself on the recordings. Just so you know.
Don't crank me so I
Trying
can
to
hear you guys.
silence me.
I'm just trying to
Austin
balance
will
this
be
out.
silenced.
Yeah, but I think your way of balancing is just making me quiet.
You think it would be making me quiet?
You would think.
Yeah. They always
No,
tell
it's
me I'm
turn
so
Jeremiah up as loud as he can go, and turn
still
Austin
loud.
down as quiet as we can.
No, I turned Jeremiah way down, and he still blows it out.
He just yells louder if you turn him down. Nothing you can do about it.
Nobody can hear me. Help! Why?
I'm listening to everything on a delay, and it's really confusing.
That
Why?
seems like a bad idea for a
Why are you
podcast.
doing
Row, row your boat gently down the
Gently
stream.
down.
Merrily, merrily,
Merrily, merrily,
Row, row, row your
Life is
boat
but a
gently
dream.
down the stream.
That's just called a round, guys. That's
I'm trying to figure out how to get.
Oh. What'd everyone do over the weekend?
Hello.
fuck me. I had to work a
Same.
lot.
Same. I worked about 20 hours this weekend. So,
Okay.
in 2
Okay.
days.
Cool.
I also got a new haircut.
Yeah. Is that why you're wearing?
He
a
got
hat?
He got all of his cares cut.
Yeah. I'm wearing to the internet world. I'll show you. I'm bald now. It's official.
He had a hat on, so it doesn't just blind
Yeah,
the camera.
like we don't have studio lights, so now my head's very shiny.
There we go.
So like I need
So you're just
a roof. There we go.
going full on supervillain now.
Totally.
Stop it.
We need a supervillain in this group.
Stop it.
We already had you.
I wasn't. Your voice is more supervillainy than mine.
Maybe.
Stop it.
I can
you
hear
doing?
our recording.
I was
He's
listening.
watching the stream on his phone.
Yeah, I was listening to the stream on my phone to make sure the audio sounded good on their end. That's why everything was on a delay.
Oh, these guys are funny.
Okay.
Who are these assholes?
Jeez.
Have they never streamed before?
No, we just completely switched platforms here to stream on, so it's.
I don't know if we've ever streamed all four of us together. I feel like it's never
It's
happened.
been a while.
It's been a
We
while
have to remember how to do it.
since I could hold my head up high. Anyway, I don't want a copyright strike.
This
This is
happening.
really weird. So Doug brought some brewskis in. It's like
It's
beer
brew.
with ski.
This
Yes.
is just really like
That's more of an
citrusy
IPA,
hops
yeah.
in it.
Yeah,
there's
it's just
there's another one that's actually just like straight up beer and ski.
That's the one I wanted to try.
well, that's what I was expecting, and I got
Yeah.
more of like a Heineken taste.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for it,
Yeah, no, this is just beer.
and I
Me?
just spilled it all over myself.
I'm the teenage girl of the group.
Always.
Blue kinky.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I like how when we look at each other, we actually look at each other on screen now. Like, that's nice.
It is nice.
I know.
We're very professional.
Can you hand me a paper towel?
But I need these.
I need them right now. I'm the one that spilled it.
John always gives me shit
All right.
because
Here you go,
every
you can have
time I'm up here, like, shit gets spilt somehow.
it. Somehow I managed to dump it all over my lap and everything.
The ski made him wet.
Yes.
So,
Yes, it did.
how you guys doing?
That was a very immature joke.
I'm a
What?
very immature person.
You're a very immature joke.
Aw.
Oh. Oh.
Sorry, that was
Mhm.
me.
We're on 61, right?
60.
61 what?
Episodes.
Oh, shit, are we?
Is that what it is?
That was,
'Cause
we're getting close to episode 69.
I'm pretty sure. Hold on.
Uh-huh. That comes shortly after 60/61.
What about it?
I have to think of something to talk about for episode 69. I want to make it special.
Why is it special?
I don't know.
Because
I
it's
feel
our
like
first
it'll be-
69 together.
No, it's 60. This is episode 60.
Yeah, I know, but like 69's coming up. I got 2 months to figure it out. Will I be here? Okay, yeah. That's not the episode I'll miss.
Are we gonna fire you before then?
No, like I was like
we
I'm-
just kick him off the episode so you can't make
Jeremiah can't be here. No.
He just can't make his jokes, his immature jokes.
What would you guys can't do episode 69 without me. That would be blasphemy, and you know it.
I mean, we could.
Just wait till 69,420. Jeremiah.
That'd be weird. We'd be so old. Who would've
Today
man.
on Flightless Nerd.
known?
All right, I need some notes here.
Mm,
Flightless Nerd. Oh,
yeah.
what? I need to request permission to log into my own drive. That makes a lot of
Yes.
sense.
Totally.
Makes a lot of sense. I thought I was really prepared for this episode. Apparently not.
We
Yeah,
were
I got here early.
playing session before.
Well, part of that
So-
was because I had to redo everything 12 times because Jeremiah.
Moved.
Stop. You know what?
You tell him to sit up straight so I can get you in frame on the camera, and
didn't
he
think-
does.
I needed to move
And
too.
then 5
like-
minutes later, he moves like a foot and a half to his left or right.
I didn't realize I was butt humping the wall. Like I just couldn't turn my chair. See, I gotta be able to swivel. There's a nice hole here.
That's what she said. He said. He said.
Both.
Somebody said that.
A little
Somebody
column
said
A, a
that.
little column
At
B.
some point in history, someone has said that. For sure.
They called it glory.
Oh God.
Ayo.
There's
Are we
another
gonna do a
immature joke.
podcast?
Maybe, I don't know.
We need to.
Glory, glory,
At
hallelujah.
this point, I've just kind of resigned to wherever we go, you know.
On the bright side,
We're just gonna call this one.
That's it, guys.
screw it. It's over. We're done.
Episode 69.
We're done. That was it. No.
We could just record episode 69 in advance, and then when it actually comes around, just skip straight to 70.
Or not.
Wait, what?
We'll record
skip it?
69 now, and then when that comes around, we'll just record 60.
But we still need to do episode 60. Oh wait, no, you said do it. That doesn't make any sense. That is
Start
weird.
recording it.
What is happening?
Start numbering them whenever we feel like.
We're just
it.
gonna not do it like
This
the
is
13th
episode 69.
skip it like the 13th floor of a building. It's just not there.
I bet we actually have skipped an episode number at some point.
Wes, have we skipped
This
an
might
episode?
be
number?
it.
Actually,
We're not sure if this is
no,
60
we
or
haven't
61.
because I've been keeping meticulous track of it in all my files.
There you
I'm
go.
just saying that there's still a good chance that
We've skipped episodes, and I mean that's counting like the Star Wars special shows and stuff. But I don't know what it is if you take like Avengers.
What do you mean we've skipped episodes? Like,
Or like skip weeks
Like-
is what I mean.
Yeah.
I think we've only done that for holidays.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or well, I think there's been a couple early.
No, because I was very proud of the fact that we did not miss a week other than holidays.
maybe we have.
Super happy about that.
I've missed a bunch, so
I mean, yeah, we have missed a bunch, but
Collectively.
the show has gone on.
the show has continued.
I haven't.
Actually, no, you haven't. You've made every.
Yeah,
Very,
but-
very proud of that fact.
You weren't on the first 5. What do you mean?
Doesn't count. Does not count. I wasn't on the first 3. Thank you very much. I was on the 4th one, and we didn't go live till the 5th one. So, nah.
You missed 3 episodes. You missed arguably the 3 most important episodes.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh. See how it is. See how it is.
Just saying.
Who's running this thing?
Apparently
Oh,
not me.
I don't know.
Like, fucking, goddamn.
I don't know. John, you want the honors since you've been gone?
I don't care. I don't know who this guy is though. So. there's maybe
Jeff?
Jeff.
It's all right.
How do you not know who Jeff is?
Are we starting with the listener question, or are we going to do that after these?
Let's start with a listener question.
Well,
It's
why
a
is it-
special occasion.
Tell you what, somebody else take it because I've spent more time setting up the thing than.
You just have to do
managing
the intro. I'll transition the topics.
You were going to say
But you don't
content.
have to if you don't want to.
I'll pass tonight. I'll do it
Okay.
next. I'll do it next time. Sound good?
I guess I'll do it. If Doug, do you want to do it?
Sure.
Okay.
I also haven't done it in a while.
That's true.
There you go.
I need to get back in the swing of things, man. I haven't been on an episode in like 2 months here. So
Me either.
That's why we pushed it back for everybody on Twitch. We are Tuesday night.
yeah,
Because we want John to join us
I'm
tonight.
here.
It is not a hologram.
Or am I?
Whenever you're ready, Doug. I am ready.
You ready?
Sure.
21, 23.
Hello, and welcome to the Flightless Nerd Podcast, the show that gets you up to speed on all your nerdy needs. I'm one of your hosts, Doug Pilcher.
I'm another one of your hosts, Jeremiah Larnard.
I am Austin Bradford.
And I'm John Montgomery.
For those of you joining us on Twitch, welcome to the show.
Hello.
For those of you listening at home, well, also welcome to the show. We record these episodes live on Monday nights on Twitch. If you would like to join us and hang out and ask us questions and chat along the way, and we will be happy to oblige those.
Except it's Tuesday tonight.
Right. We are recording this on Tuesday.
So I could be here.
because John's here.
Here.
John's here.
Yay.
Yay!
We're a big, happy family again.
Thank you for all of you who have joined us on Twitch and have followed us and have subscribed to us. We are affiliates now
Yeah,
because people actually listen to us, so that's cool.
crazy.
If you'd like to show us some support, you can come by and subscribe, or you can go to patreon.com/flightlessnerd and throw us a couple bucks a month to help us keep the lights on around here. And with that, let's dive into it.
Yay.
Speaking of listeners asking us questions, we have one this week from Jeremy, who says, have you guys seen anything on the new Amazon MMO New World? What are your thoughts on the game? And also, what are your thoughts on Amazon getting into the MMO game space with their own now?
So I don't know. I didn't know a lot about this game before we got the question, actually. I remembered that Amazon announced they were going to be working on game development titles and that they were working on an MMO, but I had completely forgotten about it. But it turns out that this game is actually like targeted for a May release in 2020 on PC. So it's definitely been something they've been working on for I think 3 years now.
Mm.
And so I went and did some research on it, and the details behind the game sound really interesting. Yes, it's an MMO, but it seems like they're bringing a lot of fresh ideas to it, and they're almost merging the MMO space and almost an RTS looting game, or resource management game,
Yeah.
all into one place. You're going to have your PvP. It's not going to have classes per se, but you're going to have different weapon types that you level up, and those will have different combat styles. So the details I'm very interested in. It's set in a colonial 17th century world where you're out exploring this new world that you've discovered, and there's some supernatural elements that you run across while you're exploring. So I'm all about that setting. So I'm actually looking forward to it. I don't know if it's going to be any good, but I'm excited to check it out.
The trailer looks promising.
Yeah, I mean it's just a CG trailer, but basically what it looks like is magic infused.
That's what I was gonna say. Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, like infused with like colonizing a new world. And I guess the colonizing part comes where they actually took a bit from Ark, I think is what we landed on. Like it kind of looks like Ark Survival. You start with nothing and
gathering materials.
Gather materials, like get a group of people together, like hunt with a stick until you can craft things and build up until you're good enough to like do stuff like fight other people and all that, which is crazy because that means they're doing an action-based MMO with a survival part with a little bit of RTS with PvP that's like teams 50 versus 50, clans and all that stuff. So it seems like they're taking like little bits and chunks of every MMO space that's out there and throwing it into one game, which is very ambitious for an MMO.
Yeah, it's a really interesting mix of genres they have going on.
Like Roman armor and stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's like 17th century discovering the new world. That's the whole thing. But I mean it sounds interesting. We'll see where it goes. I might be interested to try it out at some point.
Yeah. I want to see more gameplay.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of gameplay on it, and I mean,
it was like right at the beginning of the game though.
Like
so it was a bunch of people running around in potato sacks with like sticks trying to break rocks and build something.
And
I hope that's the end game.
That is the end game. Like you just nuke, and like the only thing that puts me off a little bit is the like survival aspect of it, because I'm not a huge fan of those MMO survival games. But I don't know, like it's just I mean, it looks great. Like the actual gameplay and all that stuff, the graphics of it looks amazing. Like it's a very, very detailed world that they have created. So I mean, they're hitting the pavement hard. This is the first Amazon game, right?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know of, they might have released some really small title before this, but I think this is the first one that's just the Amazon studio that they.
Aren't they supposed to be doing
started.
like a whole mobile thing or something though? Kind of like the Apple Arcade. Am I making that up?
I don't know. I don't know if I've heard that.
Well, I might be just making that up. I don't know.
Why are you making stuff?
I think that they probably do. They probably are working on something like that. That seems like something every big tech company is going to be doing, is some kind of subscription game model. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have something either out or in the works, but I don't remember hearing anything about it.
I think.
Go ahead. I was say on that note, they have said this is a pay to is that the right pay to play? You buy it and then there's not like a monthly subscription to play to play it. So
that's nice.
Yeah. But there is microtransactions, so sort of like the Guild Wars model, where you buy the game, you can play it however much you want after you buy it, but you can also buy like in-game items like cosmetics or skins and stuff like that.
Yeah,
as long as it's just cosmetics and
that's how Guild Wars does it. Guild Wars doesn't give you any weapons that would give you a leg up on PvP or anything like that. So
yeah, that's not surprising. That's pretty much par for the course with any MMO now. Is you pay for cosmetic items.
Yeah.
The thing about this game that I'm most interested in is the communities that you can build. So there's something called companies, which it sounds like a guild or like a clan or something like that, where you buy territory and you own the territory as the company, and you upgrade it. You'll upgrade the defenses, the housing, and other playable characters can own property inside of a company's territory. So the company can set taxes for anyone living in their territory to help raise the funds to, either go towards defenses or I don't know what other kind of upgrades they're going to be, but you'd think like different kind of benefits from living in this territory. And then other territories can actually declare war on your territory. And people living in the territory can decide, do they want to defend this company's territory that they live in, or do they want to join the rival territory and try to take over and overthrow their current governorship if like the invading territory is offering better taxes or like better like they're offering something that seems beneficial to them. So that was kind of interesting.
That's crazy. That's really deep.
Yeah, so like like I said, it's colonizing. So like you get a colony together and you work together, and there's a lot of that in Ark. Like I think there's guilds or something like that. But yeah, basically, you guys can build a castle together. Because it's literally like Minecraft in a different type of game, and like build it up, build defenses, all that stuff, and gather resources, gather animals, and like defenses, stuff like that. So it's not surprising that it's in this type of game. It just, like I said, it seems like a very ambitious project, so I'm actually interested to see how well it does in the MMO space, because I don't know, I haven't really been hearing much about MMOs lately. It doesn't seem like that's like the bread and butter right now.
Elder Scrolls is kind of the only one that I care about right now.
Fair.
And they've
Yeah,
got
Elder
new
Scrolls
stuff
is
coming
good.
out.
WoW's obviously still
WoW.
number one in the space. So I mean, they're still out there. It's hard to compete with WoW though, and Elder Scrolls is doing as good as anyone is. And Final Fantasy 14 also has a really big following. So they're out there, but I don't know if there's going to be enough space for a new one to enter in. And I'd be surprised with this being Amazon's first journey into the video game space if it's going to be a masterpiece. I would be shocked by that. So I think it might be a fun game. I'd be less surprised if it was just like a mediocre game that is around but doesn't really make any waves.
What do you guys think about Amazon getting into the game space now, like their own studio and all that stuff? Because they're not only that, but they've been doing the streaming services with Amazon Prime shows. Now they're doing gaming. Like Amazon's just trying to take over the world, right? Like that's
just like Google and just like Apple and just like Disney.
Yeah, but I mean, we've noticed that like a lot of these big tech companies that aren't video game companies, when they venture into the video game space, they don't generally do that well or perform that well. Their strategy is just to throw money at it. But as of yet, it hasn't really worked for any of those companies yet.
Yeah, it's an interesting move for Amazon. I'm curious to see where it takes them. Like this looks like it could be something. But I don't know. It could also be a flop. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested. I'm interested to see what the beta numbers do. See how many people actually pre-ordered to get into the beta. See how many people are like know about it. Because like I said, the only thing I saw on it was the Game Awards trailer that released in December or whatever, and I didn't even remember it was the Amazon game. I just remember, hey, that's a kind of cool looking trailer, but okay, whatever, and then on to the next thing. So it'll be interesting to see how they start marketing this thing in the next couple of months.
Yeah, so one thing with Amazon that we didn't see anything at E3. Nope. And I don't think we're going to be seeing anything next year. I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot of anything interesting at E3 next year, or this year, I should say. The latest news from E3 is we've had another dropout.
Something else we're not going to see at E3 this year.
Yeah. Another dropout of the big names that we would like to see at E3. Geoff Keighley is no longer going to be at E3. And this is bigger than Sony, in my opinion, not being at E3. Geoff Keighley is a staple for E3. He's been there every year,
For the past
involved
like
in some
25 years
capacity.
or something like that.
Yeah, so him not being there, which he tweeted out, he didn't really give reasons, but he said it was personal reasons why he wasn't going to be able to show up. But it just really felt like it just feels like the end of E3.
Well, he was doing like a little AMA after he announced that he wasn't going to be there, and somebody asked, "What fueled your decision to not participate?" And all he said was, "A ton of factors. I don't really feel comfortable participating given what I know about the show as of today." So a lot of people are speculating that Geoff Keighley doesn't like the direction that E3 is going, because I think they're talking about having like social media influencers, like, try and boost the ratings of E3, like, walking around, being paid to walk around, live stream like on the floor and stuff like that. Make it more of an event as opposed to what it already is, I guess.
He says, I think E3 needs to become more digital and global. It's a brand that means a lot to people, but it shouldn't just be a floor show or a show floor.
Yeah,
So,
I'd agree with that.
I mean, the biggest thing, and he's right, it does need to become digital, because like now, because when E3 became a thing, and it was like, hey, this is, for the press, this is to show off the new stuff. It costs a lot of money for these companies to do something like that, whereas now they can do it on their own time. They can produce a video and not have to worry about any screw ups in front of a live audience, just like Nintendo's been doing for years now. They can control it in an environment that there's no variables, and it's just, and we see like people will watch whatever these big companies put out. So really, the only big console company that's going to be there this year is Xbox. So they're probably going to give Xbox like 2 or 3 hours on the floor. And I don't know if Xbox is going to have enough to fill up that time. Like,
Yeah,
nobody else is here.
yeah, right.
Does anyone think that it's a little ironic that Geoff Keighley is concerned about E3 just being a big showroom, and thinking it should probably go digital when he literally hosts the biggest game award event of the year, and like it's just a giant showroom where we just honor people? And couldn't that go digitally? Should that go digital?
Well,
It's a similar event.
the
and
people
he's
that
host
are
of
in that
one.
room, or most of the people that are in that room for the game awards, are the devs and the creators and the actors.
It's an award show.
But actually getting it out to the people that like us, and a lot of the online news outlets, it's all just streaming. So most of the game awards it's not like played like the Oscars on regular television. It's just, hey, stream it, go to the channel and stream it, and you can watch it live. So the game awards at this point is almost more digital than E3. If they start going, hey, you can download demos this night, that's the next step, is as opposed to have people go to the floor at E3. It's just being like, demos are open to the public, or you have to have a press password to get this demo from here or whatever, and they would send that out so the press wouldn't have to come every day at E3. I think they just should make the demos public. Let the people play the new games. Let them make the decision so people can be like, hey, here's what it is. But that also leads into people downloading them and downloading the data and getting into it and seeing the nooks
At the
and
same
crannies
time,
of it, so
At the same time, though, I don't feel like everything has to be online nowadays either. I mean,
no.
I don't see anything wrong with having like a
I
public event where people can go and.
I like
I
a
actually-
big show,
I actually agree with John. I don't have a problem with these demos being locked behind press specifically. I guess I would say like maybe don't sell tickets to E3 and like give out exclusive demos that way. But if they just kept it to press only and gave the press hands-on early looks at stuff, I don't have a problem with that. And I like the event and it as it is, the big conferences that they have before the event that are streamed. I mean, I think those should stick around, and I would like to see more people be involved in those, and I'd like to see them branch out away from just the major developers and kind of focus on some of the smaller studios and give everyone an opportunity to really show off their games in that way. I guess I don't have a problem with E3, and I kind of wish it would stick around.
No, I love
mean,
E3.
you can still do it digital.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I love E3. Like E3 is
Part of-
Christmas for gamers, in my opinion.
Part of the allure is being able to go to this big event and hang
Mhm.
out and the experience, you know.
But like I said, it's just I don't know if it's opening up to the public that started killing it, or if it's just developers starting to pull out of it. I'm not sure because it's been going downhill for a little while. Like
I
the
think it's
numbers have
mostly
been
just
going down.
People
Like
pulling out.
people still watch it, but it's not as big of an event because there's game shows all year long now.
Yeah, everybody wants to do their own thing. That's the problem.
Well, it's easy to do your own thing, and it's
Yeah.
safer to do your own thing because you can control what's happening. Like you make the video ahead of time, you have it all edited out, and all you do is hit play on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, and the information that you want out there is out there. So it makes sense that the developers want to do their own in-house thing like that, especially like PlayStation, who has the audience. They don't need E3 to get their news out there. It just
This kind of goes back to the Amazon thing, though. At what point do you think it's going to be so saturated that nobody's making any money and it just kind of dies out? Because, I mean, you've got all these different streaming services that you can subscribe to. I mean, at some point, people aren't going to subscribe to each individual, developer or whatever.
You lost me. What are you talking about?
I could tell. I could see that blank look in your face. At some point, the market's going to get so saturated with different subscription services that nobody's making any money because
Okay,
people-
I wasn't talking about subscription services. I was just talking about like PlayStation's State of Play, like their own press conference that they put out every couple of months or so.
Yeah.
So
Or like the Nintendo Directs, or
well, even then, I mean, obviously people are going to watch PlayStation, but like these small developers, something like E3 is what brings attention to them. People aren't going to go to a YouTube channel of some small developer that's not really heard of. I mean, that's it's just a way for the big companies to make more money, and the small ones don't really have the.
And that's the
exposure.
problem. Like you start throwing more. I mean, like even in E3s of the past with Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo, like they're indie developers or whatnot that they show off. It's only like a snippet,
Yeah.
of each game. There's no, like you said, no money to be made with these small developers. It's like they can't pay E3 a bunch of money to be like, hey, give us a platform to show off. They can give a booth, and that's the allure of going to E3 and being on the show floor is so you can go play these games, but they're not going to show them off on a big screen like they do with Sony and all that stuff. So,
Well, I mean, and if E3 dies out, I mean, you're running out of options for. To gather a bunch of eyes onto a product at once.
We're going back to disc demos. You got the
Start
magazines,
mailing them out. I guess. I don't
it's
know.
like, hey, here's 5 games on this disc.
I would kill to get a demo out of my cereal box
right
again.
That's what it
dude.
is, man.
I forgot about it until you
San
just brought that
Diego.
up.
That's what we're going back to. Like,
I would
was
give anything for that.
I was a PlayStation beta tester back in the day for the PS1 and
Alright.
PS2. Yeah, man, they used to send me all kinds of cool demos and games and stuff.
yeah, like
Once a month, I'd get like 30 free games. It was sweet.
E3 is definitely evolving. As right now, kind of like our favorite company, GameStop. They're trying to find a way to be in this world the way it is now, as opposed to the way it was, and it'll be interesting to see if E3 can evolve and stay relevant, or lure these companies to come back and be a part of them. Because if companies keep dropping off, or if they keep having like the Bethesda concert of last time, or show, like it's just like people don't really care a lot about a bunch of these shows anymore. So the viewership's dropping off. The games, people just watch the trailers afterwards on YouTube. What they're interested in. So it's it's a time sink, and I still like watching it, but maybe it's just that type of world where it's just we got to give people bite-sized stuff now.
Yeah,
I kind of
I
agree
mean-
with that, man. I'm so busy; it's hard to sit down and watch a.
Yeah, I mean it's a
Long
2-hour
award
show, 4 nights a week. Like when
Yeah.
E3's going full. So.
I get that.
but I still get giddy around
yeah,
that
same.
time. I'm still just sitting there watching it.
Yeah.
Getting hype every new trailer. Yeah, totally. That's why I love E3. I mean, that's why I like the Game Awards. I don't care. Well, I kind of care what games win awards, but I just want to see the new shit that they got coming.
Yeah, I care too much which games win. I get mad. So Sony obviously is not going to be at E3, which is interesting because of the PlayStation 5 coming out this week. But we were talking
This week.
this year.
Holy shit!
I was like,
I wasn't ready.
Surprise!
What? Did
This
we
week
just break
we may
news?
have had some information leak about what the PlayStation 5 is going to cost. If you'll remember, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about how they were holding out, waiting for Microsoft to release their price, so that they could release theirs and maybe undercut it, or at least be on par with it. So obviously, I think that incited some of the data miners to really start digging and try to get the costs of the PS5 out before Microsoft. But basically, somebody went in, they looked at all the hardware that was going to be in it, and they put together a potential price tag. It's looking like it's going to be right at $499 for the cost of the console, which seems fair. I don't think this is really news, but this is the first tangible bit of information that we have about the PS5, so I thought it'd be worth talking about at least.
Well, I saw somebody tweet out, I think it was Colin Moriarty, previously of IGN. He tweeted out what the PlayStation consoles would cost adjusted for inflation, and they're all around $470, except for the PS3, which was like 700 something. So anybody he's like, yeah, $499. That's about right,
Right, that's what I was going to say. The PS4 was $399 at launch.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 6 years later, considering inflation, $499's.
If you compare it to a cell phone, it's stupid cheap.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
You want an iPhone X? That's $2,000 now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, yeah.
I'd pay
So this
$1,000
price,
for a PlayStation I could carry around in my pocket.
yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's like a PS Vita, isn't it?
So this price
Harsh.
To the Switch, yeah.
not
Much
surprising
cheaper.
at all, and it's definitely a palatable price that if this is going to be the price they put on it. I don't see the Xbox Series X coming in cheaper than this. I feel like it'll be $50 more expensive. Actually, that's my guess. So it will be interesting to see what Microsoft does for this. I imagine they're going to try to, make it as cheap as possible, given the parts they have. But
Sure.
Like I said, this isn't Sony's announcement, so they might be. The story was they're actually trying to find ways to cut price on it. So if
Which
they can get it
scares me.
under 500, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, a lot of people are thinking, or a lot of experts are saying it might cost Sony about $450 a unit to build it, right? And with similar cost of like building the PS4. I think it says here PS4 was it cost about, or it was estimated to cost about $380 to build it. Thus, why it was $400.
I find it hard to believe that they'd only make a $50 profit per console, though. I mean, they sell a lot of them, but
I think we talked about this before. But I mean, the business model of selling, millions of consoles at a smaller profit margin, and then selling all your exclusive titles, which they have
That's
the best
true.
exclusives in
And
the
your
industry.
online
That is true.
service and all the accessories.
So they're making their
and-
money.
Because we all know the PS4 install base at this point is ridiculous, and a lot of people who are PS4 advocates like us, we love our PS4s. If the PlayStation 5 is backwards compatible, which they keep saying it is, but we don't know yet. It's not confirmed. It's not triple confirmed. But if it's backwards compatible with everything, everybody's going to be like, yeah, we don't need the PlayStation 4 anymore, or they're just going to hang on to it, put it in their bedroom, and everybody's going to buy a PS5 because they can play everything on it.
except for PlayStation 3 titles, right?
They said
It
that
would
might.
include everything.
Yeah, they said it might.
How? It's a whole different.
Emulator.
Yeah.
Science.
Yeah.
Technology.
So I
What
mean,
are-
they're not going to do what the PS3 did and put an entire a PS2 motherboard in it so you could play PS1 and PS2 games. They'll probably just emulate it at this point. But and that doesn't really cost too much. You just have to have the power in it to do it, and the PS5's definitely going to have the power to do it. So yeah. I mean, it's
So Wes in the chat, he points out 107 million sold times $20, 2.14 billion. So that's
Jesus.
no small chunk of change there.
Jesus. That's a lot of money.
That's profit. So
Yeah. Like, well, I mean, if the 450 includes like shipping and all that stuff, like from Japan or China.
I don't
or
know.
wherever
It just
they're
seems
shipping it
like all of the research and all of the everything that goes into building one of these consoles, even then, that's a lot of money. But I don't know. You think they would? I mean, if you look at like a box office hit, I mean, there's a lot more that goes into.
Well, they're not
Yeah,
building it from the
I
ground
mean,
up. I
putting
mean,
a
they're
console in.
buying parts from like AMD and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And they're making deals. But
if this was a MacBook Pro, like if my PS4 was a MacBook, I would have had to buy it for $1,300
Yeah.
because it's just
Yeah.
a different business model.
Yeah.
They're trying to make a big profit margin, whereas Sony, they have other ways to make up that money.
Yeah, I mean, making up that money definitely makes that's a good point. I don't know. It just seems like to me, it seems like they should be charging more, even though I hate to say it, is what I'm saying.
I honestly thought it was going to be $600.
Yeah,
I thought that's what they were going to charge for it, and I mean, obviously the 500 isn't official, so they still could.
I think even 550 or 600. I mean, I think they could sell just as.
I think
big.
People would still buy it. They just might complain. a little
People
more
will start
about it.
getting antsy at the 600 number, but people will still buy it. Like if they were like, "Oh, it's $700," people would be like,
Yeah.
no."
That's
Like,
outrageous for a
yeah.
console.
But they wanted to avoid. I really think they wanted to avoid the PS3 debacle, which had the $600 price tag on it, and that would have just been. They don't want PS5 being written in the same headline as PS3.
That's
They want to
true.
avoid
well,
that. So
with the PS3 being $600, like it was a little bit of that, but I think it was because I think mostly it was because it came out a year after Xbox. Like the 360 came out a year before, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, we're releasing this console, and it's backwards compatible with everything, and it does like all this cool stuff, but it's like $150 more than this console you already have." And that's why people were like, "What?" I think a $600 if they come out the same time as the Xbox is a little more palatable. But I mean, yeah, they don't want to have that headline. It's like $600 for a new console. But who knows?
Yeah.
Whatever.
yeah, I think it was really important for them to come in as cheap as possible for this because they want to their biggest goal is to keep that install base and just carry them over to the PS5. And to do that, you're going to want to make it as cheap as possible. So
Yeah.
makes sense to me. If I were them, I would just sell it for
$2.
I would just break even on it. I would just break even on the console.
What are the chances they would just suck it up and sell it for $450
No chance in hell.
and then rely on like game sales?
It'll be a something 99. There, it's just marketing. Like something
About
99.
449.
Me as a plebeian would do
lose
that.
$1 per unit.
No,
I
I'm
can't
saying like
imagine
from
that much
from a marketing standpoint, 99 sells better than 50. Like than round numbers. I don't know why. Like it's,
$449.99.
maybe. They could do that, but yeah, like
0.9.
98. $449.98.
yeah, so it's a penny cheaper than the Xbox.
98.999.
Like
We're
Walmart
still,
does.
It's like gas
So
prices.
we're still talking about billionaires here, so they're gonna get that extra. They have to get
Yeah.
a little bit of profit in there.
Yeah, no, they're gonna get their.
Otherwise,
I
they'll
could see.
melt.
I could see if this $450 per unit
I'm
cost is
melting!
accurate, then yeah, $499 is probably what we're looking
Yeah.
at. But
Drop a
we'll
house on 'em.
see soon. Hopefully,
501.
they got
would
They
lose
got to
my
start giving us
fucking
something
mind.
about this. soon.
I would be so angry. Like if they're like, it's $501.02. I would be like, are you what? Like everybody with OCD, their head would explode. Like
I
every
saw
gamer
a-
with OCD.
I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, right. No, like I refuse.
I saw a thread on Reddit today that was like, non-Americans. What is an American thing that just is too confusing for you to understand? And somebody was like, that tax is not included on a price tag, which like.
Yeah.
We're like
Yeah.
the only place that adds it after the sale. Everybody else is like, why don't we just include it in the sale? Anyways, that's
Trying to trick me.
yeah, that's where you get your 50102 price tag.
That'd be
You
more
know
like
what?
560, whatever. Just
It's almost like
Molotov
it's almost-
cocktail. Sony's headquarters.
It's almost like what we're doing with that, not adding the sales tax is criminal. And I've got the perfect guy to handle criminals, and his name is Batman.
Batman.
Man.
No,
What a
Batman.
So-
transition.
That was That was a hell of
He
a
was looking
transition.
for
Like,
it.
like how long
I
had you been
sit here
thinking
for like
about
10
that?
minutes into a topic, just like waiting for the transition.
It's coming.
And
It's
then
coming. It's
that's
coming. It's
where we're
coming.
going.
There it
I
is.
jump at it. Anyway, we got some Batman news about the new movie. We are really hyped about this movie here, just based on the cast alone. That's all we know about it. But now we got a little teaser trailer with Robert Pattinson wearing the bat suit.
Yes.
Yeah,
what
just
do
a
you
little
guys
screen
think?
test.
He looks like Daredevil.
Oh, that's just
He
the
does
red
Kinda
light.
does. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
just in general, like the framing of it and all that stuff kind of looks like Daredevil. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
bitching because Daredevil
I
looked
don't-
cool in the show.
I don't
but-
remember who I saw tweet it, but after they announced Robert Pattinson as the Batman, somebody was like, I could see. I think he'll be a good Batman because he's got a good chin. And so watching this little screen test, I was like, yeah, damn, that's a good chin.
Yeah, he does
That
have
was-
a good chin.
That's a good chin.
That's a good chin.
The chin.
Because I
Um,
mean,
power
it's
of
all
the
he's
chin.
got. He's Batman. All he's got poking out is his little chin.
I just the only thing
It's
is
big
like
chin.
I don't know. Batman's face has always been like wider, and he's got that real narrow jawline as far as like if you're looking straight on. So I'm curious how that's gonna translate. If that makes any
John,
sense. I'm wondering if it's gonna look weird. That's why they haven't shown him like face like
Yeah,
straight.
I mean,
on
this
yet,
suit
so-
looks really interesting in general.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what
looks kinda old
what
school.
direction they're going with this Batman.
I saw somebody tweet that they were just like, that the bat symbol is made out of the gun that killed his parents. I was like, that's a cool
I
detail.
saw
Oh,
that
I need
too.
I need to watch this again.
I saw that too. I don't know where they got
Please
that
excuse
from,
me while I watch this.
but it's a cool idea. It's a cool little detail. I don't know why he would have it, but you'd think that'd be in an evidence locker somewhere.
Not for Batman.
Yeah, he just got it. No, I think that's cool. I think it's a little corny, but I don't know.
Oh,
It
I
could
see.
be cool just
It's not
depending on how
corny.
it's done. It seems
Batman
kinda
lives
corny.
in pain.
Um,
Mirage Leonardo in chat says they should make Clayface or Killer Croc the villain, and I just got really excited about the thought of Clayface being a villain in Batman movie. That would be amazing.
well, I hope they go. I mean, the
Because we know
cast that they've
Penguin's in
shown-
it, right?
Well, the cast they've shown is having some traditional villains.
We
Yeah.
got Penguin, Catwoman.
I would love to just see a B-list villain from Batman show up and just be like the main baddie. That would be really cool. And we haven't seen a live action movie do it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I would like to see someone be brave enough to do
That's
it.
a risk,
I think
yeah.
Clayface is perfect. You could pull it
Clayface
off.
would be so cool. Like,
You have to like embrace the supernatural side of Batman to do that. But it would
why
be
not?
sweet.
Like, nobody's done it yet. And even with the Tim Burton Batmans, they were like kind of weird. Like Penguin was half fish man, you know, like so. And Bane was Bane, only dumb. Yeah, man, Clayface. Like, there's something cool about Clayface. Like, you know, he can be anybody. Ever since I've been a fan of Clayface ever since Arkham City. You know, just like the possibilities that Clayface could be, and he was always like, just this holy shit, he's here. Like, fuck, like what are you gonna do if you can't beat him, kind of thing. And it would be cool to see how Batman gets around. Like, see Batman actually use his brain as opposed to just his fist in a fight. Because we don't really get that. We get some detective stuff, but.
I didn't realize you were such a Clayface fan there.
I think he's cool. I think Batman's got some really cool villains. Like they're with the new Batman game that they're teasing, it being the Court of Owls. I'm super excited about that because the Court of Owls storyline is great. Fucking bring Damian Wayne into it. His son. Bring with Ra's al Ghul and Talia al Ghul, like shit they couldn't do in the Nolan trilogy because they killed everyone. There's a lot of cool villains. There's and we keep seeing the same ones. It's like, man, like Batman's got the best villains ever. Why not use them?
Yeah. Like looking at the cast for this movie, it's like Matt Reeves is just taking a page out of Tim Burton's book.
Yeah.
So we got Catwoman,
Mhm.
Penguin, Riddler, Carmine Falcone. So yeah, it's just very much. I hope it's not just like a remake of the old Batman movies.
Speaking of Catwoman, Zoe Kravitz getting cast as Catwoman. I've seen more on her, and that excites me. She's actually a pretty good actor. So
this whole cast looks great.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
indeed, like it's shaping up. It's shaping up, as they say.
This isn't Batman related, but you know what I want to see? I want to see a live action Static Shock. I think that would
Okay.
be great. It's out of left field. I know it's not related to Batman, but that's what I want to say.
Oh,
I mean,
John,
Zach
that
Talk would
cartoon.
be cool. I'm not gonna lie.
So good to have you
Welcome back to
John.
the show, John.
Right.
Well, it just made me think about that like B-list characters. I mean, that cartoon was kind of just like out there.
Yeah, he's
Static
part of the
Shock.
DC. Yeah, he's part of the
trying to
DC universe
remember
now. He didn't start
who-
out in the DC
Is he?
universe, but they bought him. So yeah, he's
didn't know
been
that.
like a part of the Justice League now.
I didn't know that.
Like he came like through dimensions and all that stuff, so they could bring him into the
it
Justice League.
it
world.
made me think of that when you were talking about like
Static
field.
Shock. He
So there's hope.
he flew around on a manhole cover or something, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
As a surfboard.
Oh, well, just he could
Yeah, man.
manipulate
Bringing that
metal.
up hit me right in the childhood.
Yeah.
Should be. His only weakness is hardwood floors.
Oh.
or rugs.
Static.
would be like his
static
power-up.
shock.
Yeah, something like that. Water.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
powered him up.
We're
Water.
just gonna
I think water.
I don't
was
have a
his
transition
weakness.
out of this, guys.
You don't have a
So-
transition out of hardwood floors.
No, other than
Was that a mistake?
You know what? You know what
could put
goes on
steak-
hardwood floors? Tables. And you know what goes on tables? Plates.
I was gonna say. I
Fucking
just
terrible.
I was going to say something like I just heard my wife drop a plate on the floor.
That's even worse. Like we're going
Yeah,
with
we're
Doug's.
really
we're gonna go with
really
Doug's.
reaching here.
I'm gonna go with Doug's. All right, you know what lays on floors? Plates. You know what lays on plates? Tables.
Our video games.
Plates, table. Tables lay on
What is
plates.
happening?
It's time for what's on your table.
A plate.
This is the
Oh,
weekly
man.
segment where we talk about what we have been doing in the world of nerd. So we are going to start with the man of the hour, John.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Hell yeah.
Oh
man.
gonna
yeah,
hijack
get you
this.
out of the way here.
I'm gonna hijack
So you
this
can-
segment.
Yeah, and then we'll
Because
use up whatever
I've
time
been
you
gone.
leave at the end.
Usually it's Jeremiah that takes over this segment. Goes for half an hour.
He still will, but go
I mean, I
ahead.
can if you want.
yeah, I'm sure you could.
Strap in. We're gonna be here.
Yeah, I'll make it quick.
Strap on.
Crack,
Since I've
crack
been
open
on,
an ice cold seltzer. Get ready to go.
since I haven't been on the show in a while, I've done quite a few things. First, I finished the Inheritance series.
You finished.
But did
Yeah.
you start when did you start it?
High
About
school.
3 weeks before I finished it.
Man, you read books quick.
So you started it and you finished it in the time since you not
Well,
been on
I
the show?
was reading it when I was last on.
Right.
So
Because I remember you were
Oh, right,
reading the
okay, yeah.
second book, right?
yeah, I was on like
Yeah.
the second or something like that. I mean, I've read them several times before, but I just really like those books. So it's kind of like a Lord of the Rings style.
With dragons.
Yeah, with Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings. I don't know. Yeah, the guy rides dragons and fights a bad guy, and
Saves the world.
orcs
Save
and
the world.
Well, not they're Urgles in this one, but they're basically orcs.
So
Nice fantasy.
Have you heard if they're going to keep doing the movie? Because they made the first book a movie and it flopped.
It was so
Are they-
bad.
Yeah, it was.
I
Like
wonder if they're gonna like revisit.
They
it
would
at
have
all.
to completely remake the first movie for them to be able to do the rest of them, in my opinion.
Oh fuck
Because
it! They remade Batman 8 times. Might as well make
yeah,
a
I mean,
movie.
I was a huge fan.
It's a similar popularity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
I mean, I've been a huge fan of this book series for a long time. It's probably one of my favorite book series. I've reread them several times. Probably even more than like Harry Potter or something like that. But I don't know, that movie, man, it was just bad. For one thing, they started out, there's the main villain in this whole series is Gabatorix is his name, and the part of the allure to that character is you don't hear from him at all until the last book. They just
It's a
build up
mysterious figure.
yeah, it just built up this tension. And literally the first scene in the movie, they have this goofy looking dude as like sitting on a throne, like, wah, 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 I'm taking over the world
It's
or
just-
whatever it
It's
was.
just Jesse Eisenberg just sitting there.
Yeah.
With a
it's-
Jolly Rancher.
Yeah, I mean, it was just the whole point of it was like this guy's mysterious. We don't know anything about him, but he's like this big super villain, basically. And they ruined that right in the very opening scene of that movie. So
They did that with like Dark World too, like or Dark Tower. You know, Dark Tower. They tried to cram all the books into one thing, and it apparently didn't
That was a
work
bad
out.
idea.
Yeah,
Very
just-
bad idea.
they're big books for a reason, kind of thing. I
Yeah.
don't know.
In case you were wondering, 16% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Ouch!
Aragon.
Really, that bad?
Ooh. It was bad.
Pretty bad.
I remember
was bad.
watching it. I just don't remember hating it. Like 16% sounds like a
know
hate.
if I've seen this.
It's not good.
It's. I mean, it's been years.
Honestly, I would
That came out
say
in 2006.
Yeah, I would say it's not worth.
Yeah, it's been
watching.
about that many years. Like,
It's bad, but it's not bad enough to make it good again. If that makes sense.
to come around for
Yeah.
another,
It
like
doesn't
Street
get back-
Fighter the movie. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, if you get into like Thanks Killing and stuff, it's worth watching.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's so
totally.
bad.
Like,
It doesn't ever get funny. It just stays bad.
yeah, it's just bad.
It's not ironically good.
I was so
It's just
disappointed too, man, because I went and saw it in the theater. Like I was excited about this movie because I was such a big fan of the book, and they just killed it.
kind
And
of like
now, like the whole public opinion is based off of the movie.
Of course.
So now it's just
People don't
kinda-
read books.
Well, I mean, not near as many as watch movies.
That's what I mean.
I mean, so.
I don't.
They're just basing it off of the movies. That's the same thing for like Harry Potter. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
people read the books, but a lot more watched the movies. But they did.
Harry Potter was a
books.
book?
Yeah, you didn't know that. I mean, they did.
Yeah, it was a novelization of
They
the
did those
movie.
books justice, I would say. So I mean, it worked out. But I mean, how many people you think have watched Lord of the Rings versus read Lord of the Rings?
I've never
Oh,
read
Lord of
Lord
the-
of the Rings.
So-
Lord of the
Yeah,
Rings
Lord
is
of the
hard to
Rings.
read.
It's
That's a hard
it's
read.
Yeah.
tough to. It's tough to read. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean these books are kind of like that. They're not as I want to say not as difficult to read, but I mean that's pretty much the. But they're
That's fine to say.
yeah. I mean it's not as in depth language as Lord of the Rings, but
They weren't written by one of the greatest authors of all time. That's
No.
fair.
R.I.P. Chris Tolkien, by the way. I think that was a few weeks
Yeah.
ago, but
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's gone. Okay, my next
Continue.
thing. Another book.
Moment of silence there.
Yeah, Austin just killed the
Okay.
vibe here.
I didn't even say that.
Wait, you said all right? Yeah.
that was me.
No, that was dope.
Oh, it was Doug.
Still blaming it on Austin though, but
Damn it, Austin.
For some reason, I thought Austin said it. Anyway, the next thing is another book.
My Austin impersonation's getting better.
Yeah. My next book that I've finished was Advent Red Mage Book 1. The second one's getting ready to come out. It's another like video game RPG world type style book. This one's like a space opera. It's kind of weird. But you don't realize it at first. You basically, it starts out with this dude. It kind of just drops you in with this. It starts out in this with this dude that was in the Coast Guard, and all of a sudden, like he gets this notification, and they're like, "It begin" or something like that, and sorry, I got distracted by the chat here. Anyway, it's another lit RPG genre style.
is there a
This-
mob called Bob?
No, not in
No.
this one.
That's unfortunate.
Unfortunately, no.
A cave called Dave.
Cave
A
called
sentient cave.
No, but this one he starts out in like this base for the Coast Guard, like he was doing some sort of military thing, and the world kind of just goes to crap, and he has to fight his way out of this building, and then he becomes, big and powerful, just like the rest of all RPG style.
Once you make it through
Stories.
the tutorial level.
Yeah, well, they gave him a tutorial, but not anybody else. So he has to fight a bunch of like werewolves and spiders and stuff. And then all of a sudden he goes to sleep and he wakes up on this like ship, and there's like this huge. It turns out there's like this huge space war going on, and they've split Earth's dimensions into. This is the third split. So he's like the third iteration of himself. It gets really crazy, but it's good.
It's Doom. It's
Yeah,
plot
it's-
twist. It's Doom.
It's weird. Like he's got like this big space dude that's like, you aren't important to the world. Your life is more valuable.
It sounds like
than the
since he got a tutorial, he's like the player character, and everybody else is NPCs. That sounds like
more
what
or
they're-
less. Yeah, that's
like-
kind of how they play it out to be.
Okay, cool.
But they kind of they touch on that also. Like they it's on purpose. Like they do that. They joke about it and stuff in the book. So it's a good read if you're looking for something random.
Different.
Yeah. My next thing is more books. Right now, I am working on Viridian Gate Online Cataclysm.
I thought this was an online game.
That's what
No,
I thought
it's
too.
not.
I was looking when I was editing videos. I was looking for
It's a book
trailer.
series. No, it's a book series.
It sounded like some really shitty mobile game.
No,
That's what we do around here.
this is a book series. More lit RPG. This one, a meteor is about to smash the planet, and they have like a week or whatever. And they've somehow or another, I don't know. I still haven't figured out how this is supposed to work, but supposedly the servers are going to survive through this meteor crash. But the world's ending, and you can get in this pod and transfer your mind into this game, and then your body dies after 72 hours, and only like I think it's 1 in 6 chance of dying before, like, not being able to transfer into this game.
So you can either definitely die or
Kind of
have
sort
a
of
small chance of surviving this transfer into.
Well, 5 out of 6 make it, so
okay,
1 in 6
so
die.
Decent chance of making.
Yeah, so a lot of people opt to do this, but I guess it's really expensive for these pods to be able to transfer.
So it's
but-
literally Russian roulette.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
For rich people.
But
For rich people, yeah.
otherwise, you're gonna die in like 4 or 5 days from a meteor
Yeah, might as well try it.
smashing the Earth.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of.
Are these pods like something they were already building before, or I guess have they known about this meteor for a while?
Without giving away a whole lot? That's kind of a plot detail, but yes and no. It was just an online like MMORPG, but then they found out ahead of time, and they got all these investors and stuff, and started churning out this so that they could upload. Basically, they were like, "Well, you're gonna die either way."
It wasn't like, oh no, we're gonna die in 3 days. We better build these magic pods to transfer our minds into the computer.
No, it's kind of like if they were like, all of a sudden, the world's gonna end, but we have these pods you can upload yourself into WoW, and at least you could survive mentally.
Just kill me now.
How long would I survive?
Bring
in
on
WoW?
the meteor.
Well, that's
Do
but
you
you
die in WoW?
you respawn. Well,
Do you get to
respawn.
pick your character in
so
WoW?
you get
And
Like, do I get stuck
Are we talking
being
about
a
WoW here, or are we talking
dwarf
about VGO?
or,
no. This is I'm talking.
am
about
I
the
an
book.
orc? I don't want to be an orc for the rest of my life. Keep respawning as an orc? That seems
Like,
like a
so
shit
you-
deal.
So you transfer your consciousness into the game, and then you're just immortal until the servers die.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I've gathered so far, I'm not finished with them, but
You guys are really into
You
this
pick
crappy
some
mobile
weird
game.
books.
no, it's a really good book.
What if it was Star Wars?
I finished Cataclysm, and I'm on Crimson Alliance now, which is the second book in the series.
All right.
They're cool books though. I recommend reading those
That sounds
if you want
interesting.
another. Yeah, it's
Sounds up
straight
my
up
alley.
RPG right now. The guys, I don't want to give a whole lot away, but it's pretty early on in the first book, so I mean, at least it might be a little bit of a hook. Basically, the way they were able to produce these pods so fast to get it out before the end of the world was they got all these investors from all these like crazy like drug lords and all that stuff. People dropped a bunch of money.
The people who want to live forever in video games.
Yeah, so like there's like these drug lords that put the money in and are compensated with power and money and everything within the game. So the main character and a friend, they go in and rob this dude before he actually is able to claim the rewards, and now they're setting up a whole faction and stuff to like battle this dude. So there's kind of a political side to it and everything too, but it's cool. Next thing, I think I'm out of books now.
Are you sure?
I'll save that one. Session. I guess I'll go next.
Session.
I think I might have found my Tony Hawk Pro Skater replacement finally. It is in the early release stage right now, so it's not perfect, but it's awesome. It's called Session.
Yes.
It's very difficult to learn.
Yes.
Jeremiah was playing with it a little bit earlier, but it's the most realistic skateboarding game I've ever played as far as the simulation. They actually call it a simulation, a skateboarding simulation or simulator, not necessarily a game is the way they classify it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But, you have to use a controller with it. I don't know how you would even do it, manage it on a keyboard or whatever.
You can't. There'd be no way.
It uses the thumbsticks, and each thumbstick controls a foot. and you control like even what foot you pedal with in the game.
Yeah.
So like if you want to ollie, you gotta pop your left joystick down to pop. If you're goofy foot, pop your left joystick
Of
down.
course.
Well, I'm just saying like it may, yeah. Anyway, you pop one foot down and pop the other one up.
Two
or
separate
like,
joysticks. So to
Yeah.
turn, you have to use the bumpers, which is real weird.
Yeah.
And yeah, like it's a real weird setup at beginning, but like as I can see how if you get used to it and you start like, messing with it, you can do some really cool stuff on it. Like just watching the trailer, I'm like, man, that would be insane to be able to do that stuff.
Yeah, and it's weird because like with skateboarding, some things scale and some don't. If you compare this to it, so like in real life, a laser flip is stupid hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in the game, if you can do a tray flip or you can do like a kick flip, you can do a laser flip more or less. I mean, so this difficulty is not quite scaled. I know it's over your head, Doug, but I'm just saying, like, as far as scaling,
I want to see a laser flip. That's all I'm thinking about. What the hell does that even look like to me?
It's like a tray flip or a kick flip.
Yeah, totally.
Front side.
It's lasers
360.
pop out of your shins while you're doing it.
It's a front side 360 shove with a heel flip. If that makes any sense. But
I
If
understand.
anyone
now.
you know what a
knows.
360 flip is?
Welcome to Flightless Punk.
You know what a 360 flip is, which is one of the more popular tricks.
A 360 kickflip? Is that what he's kickflip?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Yeah, 360 flip, 360 kick flip, tray flip.
I know what those words mean, just not together.
Okay. Well, it's the exact
At least he's
opposite of
honest.
it. It's the exact
the
opposite.
other
Either
way.
way, back to the game.
I was
It's awesome.
I was sitting there. I was like, "How do you do this one? How do you do this move? And he was like, "Oh, you do this." And then I finally found one. I was like, "How do you do an impossible?" And he's like, oh, I'm
impossible.
not sure."
Well, because the impossible, like in real skateboarding, it's
You put your foot up.
after
Yeah,
the pop.
yeah.
So in the game, they don't have a way to translate that. So like most, I don't
Like
know
once
how to
you're in the
explain it.
air, that's when you move the board around. Usually, you
Yeah.
start moving the board around as soon as you're in the air. Versus an
yeah,
impossible, you
it's-
jump and then you move the board.
It wraps
that's-
around your foot, but
yeah.
it's
So instead of
hard
doing
to-
it when you get in the air, you get in the air, then you do it.
yeah.
Yeah, but the game doesn't translate that.
Yeah, it does. There's no way to translate that as of right now, and they don't have grabs completely solved yet. And some like quarter pipe stuff's really weird. So like if you're actually going up a half pipe or quarter pipe, it's because this game's designed for more street style skating, so rails and ledges and stuff. So that's still a little weird.
Mm.
It's very hard, and it may not be for everybody. You kind of have to be a skateboarding fan, I would say, to fully appreciate it. Not that I'm trying to gatekeep or anything on it,
To
but
appreciate the tray flips.
well, to appreciate how in depth they went with it. But so far, it's awesome. I hope they finish it. It's one of those Steam early access
Same.
games, so
You never
they
know.
have been dropping updates. They just did one in January, I believe.
Oh, okay.
But on the flip side of that, there's a huge mod community starting to grow. I've picked up a bunch of maps from the modding community and played through those, and they're great, man. I mean, obviously there's those guys that just throw in a couple things and put it out there, but some of these mod maps are just as
I'm guessing these mods are like maps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, there's maps, there's decks, you can
Can you
character changes.
Yeah, can you be Thomas the Tank Engine though?
Not yet, but I'm sure that's going to happen.
It's coming.
Not yet.
I'm sure it's gonna
or
come.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's coming. Bill
Sound like the
Clinton or
Kool-Aid
something
Man.
stupid.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, if you like skateboarding games, I mean, I like it more than Skate 3. I didn't play a whole lot of Skate 3, but I played a decent amount.
Nah, dude, I'm gonna pick up Skate 3 again,
It's
and we're gonna
got
play
you for
it
3
at my
minutes.
house one day. Like, Skate 3's great.
It's a very well rounded early access game. The fall mechanics are hilarious though, so just be prepared for that because you just bump into a curb or something, you go.
They're
flying away.
hilarious.
The dude just
Ragdoll if
freaks
you
out.
just touch a wall. Like you could be like going a mile per hour, you hit a wall, and the dude's like, ah.
he goes flying like 20 feet.
It's great.
Next thing, I haven't finished I have 2 episodes left to go, but I've been watching the Witcher Netflix series. It's a great show.
About time.
I'm almost to the point where I forget what happened. I have to watch it again so we can talk
You
about
know
it.
what? You know what? I do things with my life.
I'll binge it this weekend because
You
I
read
don't
a lot
do
of
things
books.
with
I
my
read a
life.
lot of books. No, it's a great show.
Drink wine and I know things.
You guys have talked about it on here before, I think, so I don't need to go too far into it.
I think we've been waiting for you to actually really dive into it, though.
really?
Mm-hmm. We were afraid you would listen and we would spoil it.
You know, I don't listen to these. No, I'm just kidding. But I'm kind of not. But no, it's great. Another Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones kind of style show. Fantasy, violence, sex, everything.
All the things that matter.
All the things that matter, I guess.
Henry Cavill.
We might need to do something like a segment or something on Witcher.
On Henry Cavill. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh la
well,
la.
yeah. We'll all brush up on it. And
I was gonna say because that could get long if I try to dive into that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it
First.
when you finish.
I'll
I'll rewatch it this weekend.
My last thing, and I save this for last.
this is a group session.
Yeah, this is the group thing here. I've been playing Division 2.
Me too.
All right.
It's great. Anybody got anything to say on it before I take over again?
No, go ahead, and I'll expound on what you said.
Goddamn mustard gas.
It's a loot shooter. It reminds me a lot of Destiny, except it's more structured in my mind, or they give you more direction of what the next step is.
A lot more direction.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I got kind of lost with Destiny. Like, I like Destiny, but at times you don't really know what you need to do unless you're playing it constantly. I think it might be easier, but it reminds me a lot of Destiny. What actually happened? I don't think I was paying attention.
So,
Okay.
in the first game, sorry, I
Oh.
was about to do it.
Go ahead.
We could rock, paper, scissors like we did in the game.
I won in the game, so I'll go.
Okay.
Basically, what happened is a foreign country put some kind of virus into the U.S. currency during Black Friday. So essentially, hit as many people as possible,
Yep.
and it killed off a bunch of people. Essentially,
Yeah, I never picked up on what actually happened, but it's kind of like a post-apocalyptic
And-
Washington, D.C.
The division agents are just like regular people that have already been trained. They're just kind of like in cities, and like when they get activated, that's when it's like, oh shit, like they're the last line of defense to like clean up the streets basically, or make sure stuff like gets back on track after the apocalypse. So that's why you don't play until after everything's kind of settled down and people are mostly dead. You know, so
Okay, that makes sense. I didn't
yeah.
know if I missed something or if it was in the
they
first
talked
game.
about it in the first game.
Okay, yeah, I didn't play the first one.
yeah, so spoilers for the first game for anybody who hasn't played the first game and wants to play both of them, which, whatever. The twist at the end is a division agent went rogue and set off the virus. So I think in this game, the point is to, once you start, like, you're in DC because he is also in DC. That's why you get called to DC. I think that's where it's going, but I'm not 100% sure because I haven't played through it yet. So I'm playing through it. I'm working on it. Hopefully we'll get through it as a team and we'll figure out what the hell's going on in DC.
That said, we started a Flightless Nerd clan, so if there's
Yeah.
anybody out there that plays Division 2 and wants to join our clan, that'd be great. We need people to play with.
Totally. You can add us and all that stuff. If
As
you
of
have it
right
on.
now,
It's on
all of
PC.
us- as of right now, all of us except for Doug are in it.
Yeah.
Calling you out.
And for people who are interested in playing the Division with us, now is a great time to start like we did because they are doing a sale. It's $3
$3 for the game.
on Steam. It's $3 for the whole.
$60 game for $3.
Yeah. They have an expansion pack. I think it's Warlords of New York that's coming out March 3rd, I believe, and that's going to be like a $20 expansion pack. And that's post-game stuff. So they're just trying to get as many people to play the game now to get up to that, so they're ready for that. So we're just playing the base game. So if you got $3 and a good PC,
A decent PC. You don't even need a good PC. You
Yeah,
need
it's
just a decent PC.
was it a year old now? Like it
Yeah.
came out in April or
Yeah.
February or
Yeah.
something like that. So
Something like that.
if you got a game machine or game PC, you can jump on. You can play with us. we can all get on our Discord because we're trying to set up our Flightless Nerd Discord and do voice chat and all that stuff. So
seat.
And John's doing something over there, but yeah, Division, it's great. I played all the way through the first Division with Wes. That was our game that we played together because I remember being really excited after the trailers, and Division 1 being kind of lackluster, but still fun to play, especially with people. And then Division 2 came out, and I didn't really have anybody to play it with, and I remember it being good with people, so I was just kind of waiting for a chance to play it with a group. And when they were like, "Oh, it's $3 now," and that's why I told you guys, I was like, "I want to play with you guys. I definitely want to play with you guys." So
there's a lot of content there too. I'm like 12 or 13 hours into the game.
Yeah, we're only level.
I'm level 12,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And I think the storyline I've completed 19%, and then side quests like 19%. But then
I didn't realize that you had put that much time into it, John. You must have got really hooked.
Well, I played it that night and then the next night too, because I had to stay up. So
sweet. I'm glad you're liking it.
Yeah, it's fun. And from what I understand, even like once you get, because I think the level cap right now is 30, and they're supposed to bring it to 40, I think, with the new DLC. But
then why were we seeing people level 500 in there?
I think it's like a gear score maybe or something.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think the level cap's just 30 right now.
But then once we beat the main campaign, like then you go into the dark zone.
I was going to say there's
start loot grinding. So
yeah, there's that, and then there's also apparently because I was reading a little bit about it. There's some extra stuff after the main campaign and all that stuff too.
Okay,
so
cool. Yeah, so we'll be able to play for a little while. Yeah.
You could probably get a solid 100 hours out of the game.
Easy.
And,
it's one of those games that you never beat. Like, it's a loot shooter, so you're always trying to get.
Yeah,
and the year one pass is on sale right now too for $12.99. Yeah, so.
And it feels good. I mean, it's not like it. Like the only thing that people complain about is in Division the enemies are bullet sponges. So it's like it's an RPG, so like you have to like shoot people a lot to kill them.
Yeah, that's kind of where they up the difficulty.
But it's an artificial difficulty. But like the guns feel good. The cover system feels great. I like the entire time I was playing it. When I was playing with you guys, I was like, dude, check out this cover system. It's amazing. Like, I'm going from place to place, and you can be tactical about it. Like the equipment you get, like when you skill up, you get like new Division equipment. Like, first thing I got was the cluster bomb, the secret cluster bomb. So it's like you throw it out.
That's my favorite thing.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. Like you throw it out, and it's just a grenade, but instead of exploding wherever it's at, it spits out like 3 little bombs, and then they track to the closest enemy that they're near, and like they just track them, so it's like instant kill for like lower enemies. So
side thought, did you realize, I didn't know this until I accidentally did it, you could throw the thing out when there's no enemies around and it'll just follow you around?
Yeah, I did that. Like I accidentally did that when we were playing. I was like, my grenade's following me, and
I'm
you guys
like, what is this noise?
I was like, my grenade's following me, and then once we got up to around enemies, I just hit the trigger again, and then it went, oh, okay, here they're.
Yeah, and I was like, went out and killed them.
Yeah.
I've got several different skills unlocked now, and that's still my favorite one. It's sweet. The turret's pretty cool too.
I started unlocking healing skills because I knew we were going to play in groups.
I did too. I got a couple of those.
Yeah.
So anyway, anything else on Division 2?
No, I don't have anything else.
I can't wait to play more of it. We should stream it. We should stream all of us playing.
Yeah, I almost did the other night, but the login stuff was screwed up on my computer, so I guess we'll go with Doug then. Doug hasn't said anything, so
it's because I haven't been playing the Division. What I have been playing, I booted up Sims 4. I know Jeremiah has talked about this a couple times, and yeah, I tried to take I tried to actually play the game this time, and I was telling Jeremiah about this before the show, but it was fun. I created a guy. He got a job. He was working hard, leveling up his skills. Had a girl he was chatting with who kept calling me, trying to come over. Sometimes it was a bad time, but yeah. So there was a thing going on there. I had his house that, like, I started with one of the base houses, and then was gradually upgrading it over time, and it was really cool. And he was a techie nerd like me, and had a big sound or a big TV and a cool computer and all that. And then I accidentally saved over the save file with another game, and I was pissed.
Why did you like make another sim?
I started another game with just playing it with my wife. And
Gotcha.
going through that together. And then I went to save that and accidentally saved over my one that I actually was putting time into and cared about. And I was so sad. And
really
apparently on PC, it's really easy to go back and get your old save files, but not on PlayStation.
Yeah, no, you have to back them up.
So I started a new sort of the same kind of character, but it was just like it's just not the same. So I don't know. I don't know if
same.
I don't know if I'll keep playing Sims 4. I'm
Got attached to the first one,
right
and
now.
it got killed. Like
Yeah.
his sim got
It
killed.
was a death. He just
Very,
got written off.
very
Like
upset.
he just disappeared.
Yeah,
Missing person.
because I thought it was in the because I apparently saved that game and then put the PS4 in sleep mode. So I turned it back on and it still had the save menu up, and I thought it was the load screen. So I picked my other game, and then it was like, okay, saved. I was like, wait, what? Took a minute to sink in.
Scary.
Anyways,
Yeah.
that's been my Sims 4 experience.
I was telling Doug,
It's like life.
the character I was playing, it got myself a girlfriend as I was like, growing up and all that stuff, and then she moved in because it was better than her just calling me every day trying to come hang out, and I was like, just move
They're
in.
very insistent.
They are. And when she moved in, we aged up, and I proposed to her in The Sims, and once I did, as soon as I did, I feel kind of bad about it now. I sent her over to a mirror, and then I went to change sim, and I basically made her look prettier.
It's like, okay, she's part of your household now. Now you can edit how she looks.
Yeah. So it was like, hey, we're engaged.
Right.
Now go get plastic surgery.
Oh, man.
Like, I was like,
Dark.
I changed her face a little bit and all that stuff, and I was like, yeah, it's whatever. Yeah, I guess you could do that in Sims. Like, if I'm gonna be making a kid with you.
I joked about never really playing the game, like just going in, like creating a sim, building a house, and then moving on, doing something else. But I can appreciate the game. Like I was getting into doing everything, leveling up my skills, and
It is
working
actually
my job and everything.
a surprisingly fun game once you get into it. Like, you just sit
I love
down
it.
and it's like, I'm just going to let my character like try to, cuz like when you pick a career and then you go, all right, well, I have to do these things to progress in my career, but I also want to like do these things as a side hobby, or it gives you like attributes where you get stressed out. Like my sim was active, so like he got stressed out if he didn't go to the gym.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, all right, well, go. So I put like a treadmill in my house, so that way he could, anytime he was stressed, he could just get on the treadmill. And sometimes he'll just do that on his own because that's how he is. And like, it gives you like ways to progress and, little goals and stuff like that. And, it just all of a sudden it's like, oh, wow, I'm spending hours playing this game just trying to get to the next, career path or trying to get to the next skill.
Spending
Just
hours
watching
simulating
watching
a life
my
that I
little
don't have.
AI person live through their daily routine. Like, okay, now I go to work, now I come home, now I make food, now I spend some time watching TV, then I take a shower, then I go to bed, then I wake up, and then I use the bathroom, and then I make breakfast, and then I go to work, and then I come home. And it's weird how like it's just that regular daily routine, but in a
And then-
game,
yeah,
and
and it's fun.
It's engaging somehow.
Yeah, and you don't get bored. Like you're just playing the game, and it's
Skipping
just
work.
like,
You're skipping your own job to play this game.
I've
Then
had
break,
to, I've
go
had
back
to,
into his
I've had to
job.
force my character to stop doing what they're doing so they remember to go to work.
yeah.
I always want to play computer games.
I figured out an easy hack for food. Instead of cooking every time you make a meal, it's just buy a grill,
Serve a meal.
serve a meal, put it in the
Put the
fridge,
leftovers
and
in
then
the
just
fridge.
eat out of the fridge. So like that saves you like about an hour each day. So.
Yeah, my first guy has a really high cooking level because I never figured that out for a while. It's like, oh, I can make a whole bunch of extra food.
Nope. Of course, like my guy, like as soon as he got up to like level 3, he tried to make something for breakfast and then set the house on fire. So
Haven't had that
Man.
problem yet.
Mhm.
Anyways, aside from The Sims, I've still been playing Dead Cells. They had a new DLC release last week,
Mhm.
which I picked up, The Bad Seed. I mean,
Yeah.
I just started playing the Rise of the Giant like right before that, so now I'm at a point where I'm just kind of going back and forth trying to get through both of those DLCs.
Yeah, I'm playing this as well. This is one of the games on my list, and I am loving it so much. I played it a lot on PS4 a while back, but I started picking it up on PC and just kind of redoing everything. I restarted all my upgrades that I had, and I'm just making my way through. I had never dove headfirst into like the mechanics and tried to get as far as I could. But I got to the throne room. I basically can get to the throne room every time, but I haven't beaten the throne room boss yet. So still on that first difficulty, trying to get past the throne room boss. And I've only like mistakenly gone into the DLCs once or twice and just wrecked inside
Did you
there.
get the bad
They're
seed, or
difficult.
did you just get the Rise of the Giant?
I got the bad
the
seed
first
as well.
one, the Rise of the Giant, was free, but then the bad seed's
Yeah.
like $5.
Yeah, I got the
Which
bad
I think
seed. So
I think that's fine. That's a great model, and
Yeah.
they're planning more free content soon. It's just like, okay, for this one we want you to pay because we do actually need money every once in a while.
Yeah, they're definitely difficult. They're definitely difficulty spikes. The
Yes,
DLC are.
yeah.
So
The new area, they each come with a couple new areas and a new boss, and yeah, the new areas are pretty hard to get through.
and it's tricky because like your character never gets like appreciably stronger with each playthrough. Like you get more health, like you can get more health flask, and you can get like better weapon drops as you upgrade stuff. But like as you start out a character, like you never just are stronger.
There
From
is
when you
there is a custom mode where you can just like you can actually pick what equipment
Yeah.
you want to use. I
That's
haven't
true.
tried that yet. I think I'm to a point in the game where I have like too many weapons unlocked, so it's a lot harder for me to actually get a build that I like.
Yeah, I've been not unlocking weapons until I like research them to make sure I'm gonna like them because
Yeah.
I don't want to get a bunch of drops. Because the way it works, you get these blueprints, and once you develop the blueprint, that drop can be a random drop in the
Yeah.
game. So if you have 50 weapons that you don't use that you've developed blueprints for, you're gonna get a bunch of weapons you don't want to use in the game.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'll have to remember that when I play it because I downloaded it. It's on Xbox Game Pass for the PC, so I have it on my computer and I was gonna play it, but we'd spent too much time playing Division, so I didn't get a chance to this week.
Yeah.
it's
spend
good.
not
So
enough
like it's
time.
good to hop in and just play real quick, but like if you're making a full run, like it's gonna be a 30-minute run at
Okay.
least.
Oh yeah.
So
An hour long. Sometimes
Yeah.
that's for me. I don't know about you. I tend to try and like explore the entire map before I move on to the next level.
I do that unless I'm in trouble. Then I'm trying to speed
Yeah.
to the end.
All right.
Because you get one health bar per level. So if you make it to the end of the level, you get your health back and your heals back. So you just had to make it through the level.
So
So sometimes when you're out of health flask and health, you're just like trying to find the end as fast as possible.
I was mostly just doing like a melee weapon and a bow. But then just in the last couple weeks, I started using a shield, like a melee weapon and shield. And I find it hard to go back to the bow now just because I've gotten used to the
Yeah, I
mechanic
want to.
of using the shield. It's tough. It's really tough. But once you kind of get the timing down,
Because there's a parry mechanic that I haven't tried at all.
Yeah, you
which
can, like- you
supposedly,
can-
you have to parry at higher difficulties.
yeah, that was part of it. Is I accidentally made it to the giant with a shield.
Oh,
and,
God.
It helped a lot. Like
Yeah,
it was one of the early runs with a shield, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm here now. But yeah, it came in handy, so I've
Yeah.
started using it more. And so yeah, if you like tap the button really quick, it gets this parry that just reflects all the damage back at your at the enemy. Or you can.
yeah.
Sorry, guys. On Twitch there, I screwed that up.
Yeah, we had a bit of a malfunction on Twitch. John's got happy fingers.
He just really wanted to
Just
see
wanted
the
to hear
outro.
that, hear that jingle.
Yeah. Yeah, I've mostly used the bow, and I'll try to get as fast of a weapon as I can. So I'll settle with a sword, or I'll try to get the daggers. And then a bow is what I've been using, but I have been wanting to try out shields. I don't have any that drop yet. Like I'll just have a random ones I can buy at the merchant. But I always never want to spend the gold on them because I've never used them before. But
Yeah.
I definitely want to start trying them out because I need it if I'm going to do the DLC because it is hard. Like
Yeah,
It's
I made
definitely
it to, like I said, I made it to the giant a couple of times, and then I made it to the, I can't remember what it's called, I don't know, the bad seed boss as well one time, and just that was a tough one to even figure out with one run. Like the giant, you kind of figure out the mechanics pretty quick, but the bad seed boss was a little weirder. So I'll
Yeah.
keep trying that.
Like
I'm
I
sure
said,
I'm going to talk
I-
about this again next week because this is a game that I cannot put down.
Yeah. Like I said, I can usually get to the throne room every time now, and I think I figured out the mechanic. I get too aggressive with him, and I need to like out whenever he spits out those bombs.
I beat the throne room once, and I don't think I've even tried to go there again since I've been working on the DLCs.
Yeah.
I should try and see if I can make it again.
Yeah, it's a great game. I love it.
Yeah. So Austin, I think that's covers both of your
I'm
things,
done.
right?
Yeah, that's
So-
my week. Division 2 and Dead Cells. So, Jeremiah.
Me? All
Yeah.
right. I have a 5-minute movie review. I forgot to put it on the list.
You have 2 minutes. Go.
All right. Sonic. I saw Sonic this weekend. It's good. I liked it.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of 90s stupid comedies, and it's a kids' movie. And Jim Carrey is in all his glory in this movie, and a lot of jokes made me laugh out loud. I had a lot of fun with it, and it deserves to be the #1 top grossing weekend or opening weekend for a video game movie, I think. So it's I mean, the plot is dumb. Like there's like it's a kids movie, so the plot's not like, great. It's like, oh, we got to go after this MacGuffin, so it's a road trip kind of thing. And
So Rotten Tomatoes is going to give it like a 4.
I think Rotten Tomatoes had like a 60 something.
The audience
Yeah.
score was like 96
Yeah,
though.
and then the audience score
It
was
had
like
a
a
great
90.
opening weekend.
So
That critic score is always trash when it's
Yeah.
doesn't have like a deep in depth drama
yeah.
plot.
No, the plot's dumb. Like I can admit that. But like you go to watch Sonic for the character. Sonic is fun. He's basically Sonic from the games, only he's a little younger. I think Sonic in the games is like 16. It feels like this Sonic's like maybe like 12 or 13, maybe 14.
Bit of
So
Sonic lore for you.
young kid.
I say I didn't know Sonic had an age.
This is
Yeah,
a baby
Sonic's
Sonic.
Sonic's a teenager. That's why he's all like.
Time's up. Move on.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I'm just kidding.
And Jim Carrey fucking nails it. Like
He's Eggman, isn't he?
yeah, he's Eggman.
Dr.
so-
Robotnik.
Yeah, Dr. Robotnik, and like the character he portrays as Eggman before Eggman is just like full on Eggman is amazing. And it's Jim Carrey just turned up to 11 like he needs to be. And
Isn't that just usually normal?
Get like
Jim
the
Carrey?
mask.
well,
Jim
I mean,
Carrey?
like I was looking into it, and like Jim Carrey hasn't done like a comedy.
He's been out of it for a while. Yeah.
The last
just
thing he
paints
did,
now.
the last thing he really did was Dumb and Dumber 2. And that was
Dumberer.
6 years ago or something like that.
And
So
there was a gap before that too.
yeah, and there was a gap before that. So I mean, he hasn't really done. And this is 90s style comedy Jim Carrey. So this is like 30 years in the making.
I thought it was pretty weird seeing him in this, but
He's literally like an art guy now. He just paints a lot.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, this movie is great. I had a lot of fun with it. If you like stupid, fun movie, if you just like having fun in the theaters and you're a Sonic fan, or you're just a video game nerd like I am, then I definitely recommend it. That's my review of Sonic. Not really anything to spoil other than there's some cool scenes and. Yeah, that's about it. Like you go to see Jim Carrey and you go to see just Sonic, and that's why those two are on the poster, and it was worth it, worth the money. The other thing I did is Valentine's Day. I streamed and I played Kingdom Hearts because Hearts and Valentine's Day. That's the best I could come up with. I played about 3 hours of it.
Kingdom Hearts 3, right?
Yeah. Kingdom
That's the
Hearts
one
3.
picked up.
Loved Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. And I don't know if I was just not feeling into it or if I was feeling like not 100% because I was a little sick this weekend. But the first 3 hours of Kingdom Hearts was fucking brutal. I goddamn hated it. Like just the character acting was terrible. Like the gameplay was fun while I was playing it. It was mostly cutscenes. And terrible acting and terrible jokes and just like them talking about shit I didn't care about. And I was just like, what the hell happened to Kingdom Hearts? Like,
Ooh, harsh.
yeah. I mean, like, I remember playing through Kingdom Hearts 2, and it was like, all right, I can kind of stick with the story, and the story makes sense. It got convoluted at the end, but, like, at least it waited till the end, whereas this one, it's just like, if you haven't played every single Kingdom Hearts game ever made, you have no idea what's going on. And
so you got to play all those wacky ones too,
Mhm.
like the.
so like the mobile game and the 3DS
Yeah, one of the
game and
biggest moments from Kingdom Hearts 3 is from the mobile game.
yeah.
They had to put like
Seriously?
200 hours into to see.
Yeah, and fucking like, I was playing it, and like one of the mechanics from the game is from Dream Drop Distance, and I played about like Dream Drop Distance is where I stopped playing Kingdom Hearts because I got the the Story So Far pack that came out last year, just to play through Kingdom Hearts again, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna play the whole story, because I know it, but I want to play it, and I got to Dream Drop Distance. I even played through the Game Boy game, the one with the cards and all that crap. I played through that, and I got through that, even though I didn't like it. But Dream Drop Distance, I got about 3 hours into it, and I was like, no, this is terrible. And then fucking within the first 3 hours of Kingdom Hearts 3, they were like, oh, here's some mechanics from Dream Drop Distance, and here's some more mechanics from Dream. I'm like, no, that game sucked. Why? Like, you can make improve a little bit on Kingdom Hearts 2, like the battle system, and go from there. But they didn't do that. They just threw everything in there. The only thing it didn't have so far was the card system from the Game Boy Advance game. And I was like, all right, well, that's a plus, I guess. But fucking, I don't know, man. Like, Kingdom Hearts 3 it's tough. I may go back to it eventually, but I don't want to. I want to just play the game, but after the first 3 hours of it, I was just like, God damn, this sucks.
So Jeremiah, tell us how you really feel about this game.
It's not that I'm mad that it sucks. It's mad that I'm disappointed. Because I waited 15 goddamn years for this game, and then I heard everybody like kind of saying this when it came out, and I was like, yeah, I'll get it eventually. And then when I did get it, and I put my hands on it, I'm like, I'm not having fun. Like 3 hours in, I'm not having fun with Kingdom Hearts, and that sucks. I really wanted to have fun with this game, and
The first one was so good.
The first one's good. The second one's amazing. Second one's one of my favorite games of all time. So I don't know. Like I just, well, let's put it this way. I saved at like right before the first boss, like the first actual boss, and then I was like, all right, well, I'll beat this boss and then I'll quit, like, because I'm not feeling 100%, and I'll watch whatever cutscenes after that, and then I'll go. And then there was a cutscene, and then another cutscene, and then another cutscene, and then
They've
a little bit
always
of
been known
fight,
for that though.
and then another cutscene, and I was like, when the fuck is it? And it's not like it's entertaining. It's just them standing around talking about crap you don't care about, and making like crap jokes that don't matter. And like it's just like none of this stuff is entertaining. It's not fun. It's just them standing in a room like exposition dumping. And then I was like, when the fuck can I play this game again? And when I finally got to another save point where I could just save it so I wouldn't have to go through that all again, literally an hour had passed. Just an hour of shitty cutscenes and like them talking about crap that no one cares about. And I'm like, what? That's
like
when,
that Metal Gear Solid game.
Yeah, but Metal Gear Solid at least is engaging. Like Metal Gear Solid 4, the cutscenes are fun to watch, even though they are super long.
Yeah.
These were just people standing around talking about, you need more training, blah, 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 blah. And then when you fell asleep and then woke back up and somebody saved you from a drink, it's like nobody fucking cares, man. Let's play the game. And yeah, it was harsh. Like I was devastated playing that game. I was like, man, this is like, how did they screw this up so bad? It's kind of like, Aliens 3 bad. Like Aliens 1 and 2 were great, and then Aliens 3 comes out and everybody's like, this one sucks. Like that's kind of what happened with Kingdom Hearts, and it's really disappointing.
You played it through too, didn't you, Austin?
I played through Kingdom Hearts 3?
You played through it also, didn't you?
Yeah, I beat it.
Did you have the same opinion on it?
Not as harsh. I think I felt that way during parts that Jeremiah hasn't gotten to yet, so that concerns me.
So yeah, like
he's gonna like literally kill somebody. So like I enjoyed the first couple of hours solely on like adrenaline rush because I went out and got it at midnight, came home, played it, and like I was really hyped about it, and so I enjoyed it for that. It's not a good game. Like it's good if you just want to wrap up the Kingdom Hearts story, but I mean it's not a well done game.
No.
So it kind of is what it is at that point.
There's no fun factor. Like it's fun while you're playing it, like from what I can tell, and it's interesting. But then it's just like it's on easy mode the entire time because it's like, hey, every time like these attraction, like the new thing is like you get an attraction move, which is basically you summon a Disney ride, and it kills everything on the screen because it's super powerful. But the thing is, fucking you get it every 5 seconds, and it's like a 2-minute cutscene to open up the ride, and then like you just do the same thing over and over again. So the battles aren't dynamic anymore like they were in Kingdom Hearts 2. Because you're just like waiting to press triangle,
I watched you kill like this giant thing with a carousel the other night. I'm like, what in the?
Yeah, you like John literally said in the chat when I was playing, he was like, "You just killed a giant lava monster with a merry-go-round," and I was like, "Yep, apparently that's what happened right there."
I was like, "That's a little goofy."
And like I'm thinking about it, like he's talking about it, and I'm like, I didn't have fun doing it. Like it wasn't fun. I was just hitting X. I was like, whatever. X is
like a roller coaster or something.
Minigame, and then fucking like the next boss is just like, oh, you're floating around, so it's kind of like the end boss of Kingdom Hearts 1, and the controls are terrible, and it's like, oh, you can get close to him and then whack him a couple of times, and it's like, this isn't fun. This game isn't fun. Like I don't know. Like, I know I'm being harsh on it, and I want to give it another chance because I think I may have just been in a bad mood while I was playing it. But like thinking back on it, it's just like this is like compared to Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2, you jump in, you start playing as Roxas, like you're interested. You play through the entire thing. It's not like hours of cutscenes. Like you don't get your first long cutscene until about 7 hours into that game. Yeah.
You know what my opinion on the gameplay here is? It seems like it's a game that they're trying. The gameplay is geared towards children, and the stories are geared towards
the people
adults.
that have been watching this thing for 20 years. Yeah.
But it seems like they simplified the gameplay so that little kids could play it because it is still Goofy and Mickey and all them. But probably killed the game in the process.
I was saying on the stream, I was like, look, it's okay if you want to make spin-offs and all that stuff, but you have Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, 3. If you are going to have Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, 3, you need to make the story self-contained within that trilogy. Yeah, you can have spin-offs. Yeah, you can have them do something. But like I said, if you didn't play Dream Drop Distance, in the first hour, and in that hour-long cutscene I was talking about, 45 minutes of them was talking about shit that happened in that game. And it's just like,
I don't like that at all.
No sense whatsoever.
Every game should be standalone. You should be able to play it and actually understand what's going on, even if you didn't play the one before.
I mean, jump into you can jump into the new God of War, not have played any of the first 3 God of Wars, and still go, okay, I understand what's going on. Yeah. Like, I get the characters' motivations and all that stuff. You jump into this game, and you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? Who are these people? There are people on screen that I don't know who they are, and they're like, oh, well, we got our hearts put back together, and we're people again, and all that stuff. And I was like, I don't care. Why am I talking to you? Why are you talking to me? I just want to play the game. I don't know. Like, I know I'm being harsh on it, and I know a lot of people really like Kingdom Hearts 3, and a lot of people really hate it, but I was fucking miserable playing it, and that's super disappointing to me because I wanted to love this game, and I just don't. And you guys know me, I'm the guy who's like, I love everything, and to be this harsh on Kingdom Hearts 3 is just like,
I kind of want to play it more now just to see if it's as bad as what you did.
I'll let you borrow it. I got it on disc, so let's play the first 3 hours of it. Get to where I got. I'll tell you exactly where I got to, and you'll be like, oh god.
I don't even know if I remember the storyline from the second one. I played the first one a whole lot. I played through the second one. I don't know if I finished the second one or not. I can't remember.
We got time. I'll break it all down for you.
God. And the worst part about it, not the worst part, but one of the parts is I'm sitting there watching the cutscenes, and it seems like the acting has gotten worse since Kingdom Hearts 2. I remember Kingdom Hearts 2. I played Kingdom Hearts 2 last year. I was like, oh, these are fun cutscenes to watch. Like, they're interesting. Like, the characters seem like normal people. And this one, they're like long pauses in between sentences, and them just kind of staring around and not doing much. And I'm like, what happened to the production value of this game? I don't know.
That Sephiroth battle is one of my favorite boss battles of all time, in any game.
And that's really the only good thing I can say about it. When I was actually playing the game, I can see how it's fun. But then, like I said, they put it on easy mode. Can you imagine if you just had a spam button that you could play during that Sephiroth fight, where you just hit triangle and then you're invincible for
It's like the
40
difference
seconds.
between playing
Yeah.
Arkham Asylum and Lego Batman.
Yeah, like it's like, man, don't do that. Like, give me some challenge. Give me some
Yeah.
interesting ways to beat these guys, and they didn't really do that. I don't know. Sorry, that was a long rant. I know, like, I shed on Kingdom Hearts 3 for way too long, but that's been on my chest for a little while, so whatever.
Okay.
I might go back to it eventually, but it is what it is.
All right. Moral of the story is Jeremiah is upset with
Mm.
Kingdom Hearts. And on that note,
Sorry.
that's going to do it for us this week on the Flightless Nerd Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. We should be on whatever podcast app that you happen to use to listen to your podcasts. If we are not, please let us know so we can take care of that. And remember to subscribe so you can get notified when new episodes drop, and they will automatically download to your phone or whatever, and you can listen to it when it comes out. And then you can turn around and leave us a review, because those are super helpful to get your feedback. Let us know what we're doing right. Let us know what we're doing wrong. Just try to be constructive. Don't be mean. If you have questions that you want us to address on the podcast or just in general, you can email us at podcast@flightlessnerd.com. If you want to get involved with Flightless Nerd, if you want to come on the show, if you want to write stuff for the website, if you want to do video content, whatever, you can hit us up at contribute@flightlessnerd.com or go to flightlessnerd.com/contribute and fill out a form there. Or you can find us on Twitter. We are collectively at Flightless News. Or you can find me. I am at D.A. Pilcher.
I'm at Ryu Omega 33.
I am at the Lost Cause Kid.
And I am John Mon.
All right, that's going to do it. Thanks for tuning in.
See ya.
154.40.
Are you caught up on Dungeons and Daddies?
I may have missed the last episode.
But so
I still have to.
you know about the ride?
Yeah, I've caught up on the ride.
I was going to make a joke about that, but then I was like, oh, it's not Disney.
Yeah, it's not Disney. It's Universal.
It's Paramount.
I remember when they figured out that it was the Mummy ride, and they're just cracking up. I was driving home from Louisville that day, and fucking they're laughing about it, and I kind of got it as soon as they got it, and I was just
Yeah.
I almost
Freddie
couldn't.
was just
I
like,
almost had to
"Oh."
pull over. That podcast is fucking hilarious.
Are you still listening to Dungeons and Daddies, Austin?
I haven't listened to it in a
Oh
long
man,
time.
it's so good.
Gets wild.
So good. Like, these guys are entertaining as shit. So
It was
They
good.
really are.
It was good. I was listening to it, and then I decided to get Stephanie into it, and then we were just never around each other to listen to it together. So then I stopped listening to it.
yeah.
Yeah, me and Kendall are the same way. She's also listening to it, so like I can't listen to it without her, I guess.
Yeah.
I usually let a couple episodes go through, and then I listen to like 2 or 3 in bulk, like just so, because I hate cliffhangers, and they're all cliffhangers. So
Yeah.
but yeah, they're good. Everybody on Twitch,
Hey, yo.
if you haven't listened to Dungeons and Daddies yet, there's like
It's a great podcast.
30 episodes now. I don't know how many there are. But yeah, it's a really good D&D podcast.
It's a D&D.
It's a
It's a
cooking
D&D
podcast.
podcast. It's
Yeah.
mostly a D&D podcast.
Mostly a D&D podcast, but it's done by
Definitely not a BDSM
Yeah.
podcast.
but it's done by a couple of guys and a girl that they're comedians, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're actual stand-up comedians, and they fucking get together every once in a while, and they have sound effects, and like they really get into the characters and all that stuff. And it's
That's the big thing. They get together and have sound effects.
they do.
Oh,
I mean, like,
that's the secret sauce.
it is like you'd be surprised how much it adds to the podcast, really. Like, but yeah, they do a great job.
I'm gonna
The fuck was that?
That's a sound effect.
I'm gonna get the Jeopardy
Trying
theme.
to add to the podcast.
I'm gonna get the Jeopardy theme, and every time Jeremiah goes on a rant, I'll just drop the sound effect in the background.
Play them off.
That'd be so funny.
No, so angry.
Have a specific hotkey just for Jeremiah's Jeopardy sound.
There's not many things I rant angrily
the
about.
music.
Let's put it that way. But I felt like I needed to rant about Kingdom Hearts 3.
Also, hey guys, there's four of us here, which meant this episode was a lot longer than they've been lately.
Yeah.
It's a special sode.
I thought you were like gonna break out and do an advertisement or something.
Yeah, I didn't
Like,
know where
there's
you were
4 of
going.
us here, so that means this episode. Brought to you by MeUndies.
MeUndies.
Hit us
If
up,
only.
man.
It'd be nice. Get paid a little
No,
bit.
I just noticed this one was running real long, and then I was like, oh wait, there's
Yeah.
all 4 of us here.
Well, we started late too.
No.
Yeah,
We're
well,
going
did
on
we-
2 hours of recording, and that's only so it's probably an hour and a half episode.
But
At
John
least.
did have like 30 books to talk about.
Yeah.
I was about to say with John's month-long
And Jeremiah had 30 things to rant about Kingdom Hearts.
fucking game, man.
It's like an hour and 20, hour and 30 minutes.
Right, exactly like I said.
Anyway.
All right. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody on Twitch.
It was fun.
It was. Thanks for talking. Thanks for the follow, Mirage Leonardo, 84. Yeah, I read that right. Appreciate that. Always appreciate the follow. Hang out with us. And,
Thanks, Matthew, for showing up at the very end.
Yeah, and telling me you have the same shirt.
Listening to the sign off.
Yeah.
Also, Matt, I don't know if I'm bald now. I know you didn't see that in the beginning, but yeah, I shaved my hair, so
Bald boy.
that's why I'm wearing the hat, because the light
That
shines
little
off my head.
bit of hat you peeked up didn't really
Yeah.
show off that you were actually had shaved your head.
He
Your
was
forehead.
he was blinding the
up.
camera. With his,
Look at what I did.
Guys are
I
bold.
hate all of you.
he was blinding the camera. We had to put a hat on him.
Yeah, yeah. Like we need to get studio lights in here, so I'm not like.
It was like just a light reflection coming off of his head. Made the camera look all foggy.
I hate you all so much.
Yeah, wax that head, Matt says.
Oh, wax it. Yeah, they'll make the light even worse.
Yeah, studio lights would make it worse.
Blind our viewers.
right.
Blind the viewers.
Well, we were talking about like just putting like a green sticky note on my head, so every time I look down at my computer or something like that, like we could like Photoshop in something.
I wonder if you take a laser pointer and point it at your head, if
If
it'll
you-
like reflect off onto the
If you
wall and
put
stuff.
if you put 6 freckles on your forehead, I'll lose.
Like curly. Hey guys.
Oh yeah, I just got to the part where he has grown his hair out, and it looks so weird.
It looks so dumb.
Yeah, like see, I'm not cutting off my nose. That's not happening. For the Krillin.
Oh,
John, you need to watch DBZ so you get these references, sir.
yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Shit.
There's so much DBZ, man. That's why I haven't even started it. There's
Kai
so
is
much
like
of it.
Kai is maybe 200 episodes.
maybe 200 episodes.
And they're like, yeah, and they're like 20 minutes. It's not that bad.
200 times 20 minutes.
It's not like watching
Still less than One
200
Piece.
hour-long episodes.
I am
Or
the same way,
400.
Matt. I refuse to watch One Piece because of how fucking long it is. It's like almost 1,000 episodes or something
There's-
stupid like that.
I started a little bit on that, whatever it's called, where they cut out like all the crazy, insane fight scenes, so you can just kind of get the story. It's online,
Abridged?
maybe.
I'm officially old. I know that now. Because I started watching a new anime, and most people watch it because it's got tits in it. You know, like,
And
so-
you're like, this is just obnoxious.
So
Get to the
this is-
story.
yeah,
So
already.
we're going into hentai territory here.
well, it's I think the whatchamacallit, the genre is
Tentacle porn.
no, not tentacle porn. Harem anime. So it's basically a dude who has a bunch
anime.
who has a bunch of girls that like are around him, and like sometimes they're nude. And I'm like, all right, I don't care about like the titties and all that stuff, but it's a
But
really
he
good
really
story.
It's like, damn, this story's so good.
Like it's like I'm actually interested in the characters, like it's really well done, and I'm just like, okay, well, but every time they go like transition to commercial, like they're like, oh, people are watching this for the titties, so they do like poster girl like shots of the girls. I'm like, I don't that just is awkward. I don't weird. I just want to see more of the story, because it's like they even reference
I
Dragon
wasn't-
Ball Z in it, and I'm like, that's cool. Like, fucking,
I wasn't listening to a word you were saying, Jeremiah, and I just titties and poster boys. I was like, whoa, where'd this come from?
So
I don't know how to jump into this
it's
one.
called High School D. DxD.
Oh.
I
It's
think
called High School
Jeremiah
D.
just wanted to talk about this anime he's watching and had to find a way to justify watching it without sounding like a complete creep.
I promise. It's
I feel
not
like
about
a
the
complete
titties.
creep watching it. Like it's kind of like Game of Thrones. You watch Game of Thrones and then they throw titties up and it's just like, oh, that's cool, I guess, whatever. I don't care about that. I'm watching Game of Thrones because I'm interested in the story. Same with
You gonna grow a neck beard too?
yes, totally. I already have a katana. Like,
There you go. Get you some
Of
ninja
course
stars.
you do. Well, that's the least surprising thing I've heard about Jeremiah. That he has a katana.
Is it one of those displays that?
No,
Set up on the
it's
shelf?
just somebody gave me a katana, so it's in my closet. So
Even better.
yeah.
Is that your first line of defense if somebody breaks in the house?
No, I watch porn for the tits. I don't care about.
That's not what I asked.
Oh, I was
Oh,
reading
oh,
chat.
you're.
Watch porn for the
That's
tits.
some good stories, though.
It's
The mechanic showed up after the husband left. It's wild.
why is he putting the donut around his dick? Whatever. Like, I'm interested in this plot.
Really
That's
hope-
called a plot hole.
I really hope she can get that laundry out of the dryer.
Yeah, but this anime's got like really cool fucking action scenes and like it's about like devils and fallen angels and demons and shit like that. And I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, what if it had porn and katanas? That's what Matt says.
porn
katanas
and
in-
katanas?
Katanas in porn.
We're
Jeremiah.
getting a real deep dive into who Jeremiah is.
Jeremiah does not touch himself to hentai. That's not what he does.
Oh, man. This show's gotten way off base.
Yeah, I figure you guys would be
I
interested
think
in
we
hearing.
found our niche, guys.
This is
New
Flightless
podcast.
Nerd After Dark now. Fucking yeah. So if you're interested in an interesting show that has titties in it,
What is Step Bro doing?
What do you mean you glued your hand to the table?
I've seen that one.
Oh, Jesus.
Good night, Wes.
Night West. Oh my God.
Oh man.
All right.
Should we sign off before I start talking more?
Probably.
Let's end it on that note.
Everyone on Twitch, thank you for listening to our rambles.
You know what's
and-
funny? Is our viewer count went way up.
It's gone up since we signed off.
during this section.
You know,
They know.
like,
That crowd
you know,
knows when the discussion. And they flock
we know
to
they're
it.
gonna talk about like Jeremiah's gonna start talking. Let's see. Like, fucking, what's he gonna do this time?
Oh.
Yeah, so there you go. That's out there for the internet. I let everybody know I watched a booby anime. So there you go. That shit happened. Yeah. Any of you guys want to add anything?
No,
I'm good.
Okay.
We're good right there.
Thank you for watching Twitch. We will be back Monday night. You'll be here, right, John? Or is your schedule weird?
Monday, I don't know. Yes.
Are we
Yes.
So
switching to Tuesday? Do we need to switch, or are we? just
No,
going
I
back
mean
to
I'm doing the
Mondays?
same schedule I had before. I just had to take a couple months there where I was
Yeah.
on nights only.
So we will be
Yeah.
back Monday night. There's a good chance. I mean, I'll be streaming Friday. I'm gonna try and convince Austin to stream Division when we play again next time. It might be tomorrow or something like that. I don't know. When are we playing Division again?
We talked about playing
TBD.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow. We'll see.
So we were trying to be on the channel more often. So yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, Mr. Ghostlore.
Yes. Thank you, Jeremy. If you watch the VOD, we talk about your question first thing. So it's not that far into it.
Yeah.
All right. Love you guys. Thank
Thanks.
you for
Bye.
tuning in.
See
Later.
ya.